Good morning, everyone. My name is Elisa Pardini, and I'm a collaborator of Pietro Carlo Pellegrini, who is here in the audience with us, behind the jury. And I'm going to talk for him about the project. But first, I would like to make a short introduction. Pietro Carlo Pellegrini founded his practice in 1985 in Lucca, and since then his works aim to combine the modernity with the sensitivity and the attention for the pre-existing context. The project that I'm going to show you today concerns the recovery of the ex-furnace of Riccione, located in the northeastern part of Italy, in Emilia-Romagna, in the province of Rimini. And the site is located between the old quarter, the old town, and the new quarter of Riccione. The furnace was an industrial complex for the production of bricks of about 40,000 square meters, and it was built in 1908 and decommissioned in 1970. Here you can see some pictures of the deteriorating state before the recovery. The project started in 2010, the works began in 2012, and they finished at the end of 2014. And the project started because of a public competition. And here are the pictures of the pre-existing state. As you can see, the complex was pretty abandoned. It was kind of a ruin. The new buildings rise above the old ones, using the same spaces, which were really proper and consistent with the new functions, maintaining their forms and preserving the historical memory of the place. Into the buildings will be located a middle school of 18 classes for a total of 340 students, an office building and a 650 seats multipurpose theater, not yet built, as well as the office building. The project wants to minimize the environmental impact, so we choose to replace the existing buildings with the new high energy efficient ones without occupying and wasting extra volumes on the site. The purpose of the design is to create simple and easily recognizable forms, then standardizing colors and materials, and reinterpreting the historical meanings of the pre-existing archaeological site without wasting its identity and following a process of addition never concluded. The middle school, consists of two bodies, one with one floor, connected to another with 3 floors, and they are connected by a steel and glass box that acts as that separates the two bodies, but at the same time highlight their connections. Here you can see. Here you can see the classes separated by a central corridor, and at the end of the atrium there is the main staircase, and lateral there is another one with the elevator for people with mobility problems. The project, here's a section and a detailed section. The project has a double intention. On the one hand, the restoration of the existing brick masonry elements. On the other, the differentiation of the new intervention from the existing one, creating a consistent overall image. Above the gym, as you can see, there is a terrace, which is enclosed by this system brise soleil that you can find in the old building, and it creates uniformity with the rest of the complex, and in this particular space hide the machinery and the implants. The exterior cladding is made by a system of brick brise-soleil, using then a traditional material in an innovative way. We create a very strong dialogue and powerful between the restored brick and the new cototile skin. The whole system of heating, air conditioning, hot water production is entrusted to the massive use of electrical heat pumps fed by a photovoltaic system that you could see the precedent images on the rooftop. And I want to highlight a remarkable character of the building that you can see in this image, which is about the drawings and the things that the workers of the complex used to write and draw on the bricks, and we decided to maintain it as a historical memory, something that can talk about the life which filled the buildings before. This is also a pre-existing element. We decided to integrate it and complete with the parts that was too wasted. The inside is covered by a layer of plaster, and the brick columns articulate the space. We had to maintain these brick columns, which were a kind of limit, but also something that allowed to create a really suggesting space. Here you can see the gym, the double 8 gym as a flat ceiling crossed by visible beams and by visible air conditioning units. Above it, the terrace is enclosed by a strip of cotton tiles, and as I said before, it collects the machinery and the implant system. Here is the main stair that we saw in the plan and at the end of the atrium, and it is painted in white, and the steps are made by natural stone, and it is attached to the ceiling. The project also included a 650-seat multipurpose theater, which is not yet built, and it incorporated the typical landmark of the furnaces, which is the chimney. You can see some views of the theater, the front and the back, and here is the main room. I want to go back to one of the first images. Yeah, okay, this one. The project looks for a continuity with history, not as much in stylistic terms as for the compositional syntax, allowing the transformation of the functions without losing identity. I want to highlight once more that we wanted to pursue the policy of energy saving, researching simple and natural materials found in kilometer zero. I think that it's important to highlight that the cotton tiles come from a local furnace located in Emilia-Romagna. Also, the working site was made thinking about the sustainability and the kilometer zero topic. In fact, we searched the closest deposit for the material, of course, for avoiding air pollution of the movement of the machines. And I think that an important thing to highlight, finally, is the invention, the innovation, the creation. Of course, every time in architecture we face pre-existing conditions, social or social, constructive, and others. And especially in this case, talking about retrofitting and refurbishment, we found something already existing, and we have to face it. But I think that invention is never something totally free. There is not a ground zero of innovation and invention. This word comes from Latin, inventio, which actually means to find something. As Aldo Rossi used to say, I don't invent, I remember. I think that this project is a kind of memory. The project came back to light and to a new life. It was abandoned, and I think that it's interesting to see the relation between the restored brick and the new cototile skin, and this dialogue is really strong and powerful, and I think that it's important that when you see this building, you have the feeling that it has always been there, but actually there is something totally new in it, highlighted by this innovative use of the cototile, a very traditional material, but actually used in a modern way. In this respect, I think that this is the right balance between old and new, past and present. And it is important in an educational space like this school, but it is an educational point for all the community. This space has been, is give back to the community. Thank you.